Morning, folks. This is Flues here, and I'm here with my latest toy. I really love this thing. This is the Machine from Native Instruments. It's a combination of software and hardware. Obviously, computer over here, software, hardware, and basically, it's got all these pads in it, right? And you can record, banks of sounds and everything and samples into this thing. And before this, I was actually using, see if I can find it. I'm going to unhook it and bring it over here because it won't reach. I was using this, which is the wonderful Chaos KP3. I can't tell you how much this is an awesome product. You must get one of these. They're really awesome. It's got 4 sample banks. So what I did is I record sounds and beats and whatnot from either the K oscillator, which I can find here in a second, K oscillator, or iPhone, or microphone, or I have a micro sampler, and I would sample in here and I would affect it and everything. That was cool. The problem was that building a song and tearing it down, I would just have these 4 banks. And that was it. So it was really limited for me. So I was like, screw that. I should get something else. So I've been looking at this thing for quite some time. And yes, it is a little expensive. It's about 800 bucks. But the KP3, that was 400 or 350. So it's not that much of a stretch if you think about it. It's like 2 KP3s. Anyways, it's really cool. You kind of put a song together and you can play these keys. For me, I want to spend as much time as I can working with some kind of physical system versus software. Although, obviously I'm a software geek guy. You're going to pull up sounds. And you can pull up sounds here and do a lot of that stuff. I find myself actually jumping back and forth quite often. And this, just having these really awesome touch pads and whatnot, just is really great to have. You know what I mean? Right now, these things are running through some multiple filters. So that's the other cool thing about Maschine is that you get tons of effects, and it is a little intuitive to intimidating to figure out some of these aspects. In fact, I haven't really messed with enough of all this stuff up here. It does some cool sampling, and you can slice up stuff. I haven't messed with that. I've really just been loading up the basic stuff. I've only had it for about a week and a half now. It collects hairs like crazy. This is like just rubberized surface. It seems to do that. I've only had it for about a week and a half, and I've just been playing with the basic kits inside of it and sort of remixing whatever I want to sort of put together. The cool thing for me, or the big thing I really like about this music stuff, and it started with the K oscillator. Where are you, baby? There you go. It really started with the K oscillator. Now here is a $150 synth. It comes with all these different sounds, and I don't know, probably maybe 100 sounds, I guess, with it, and different beats and that kind of stuff. But this little device, like, totally enabled my music creativity and took it to a place on happy land. And the reason why is that there's no keys. See, I don't know how to play keyboard. But with this, I could lay down different sounds and beats and stuff, and I could play it to a pad and do all this cool stuff. And it was just awesome. I can't really express how awesome that was, to be sort of free to create without having, knowing how to play piano or guitar or anything. It's kind of a new, this little device from Korg, they sold a gazillion of these things, and it's really brought a whole new sect of folks to the table to create music. And of course, you back that up with all the music things you can do on an iPhone nowadays, and it's equally amazing, right? And then you bring this. So this is really, Native Instruments. I think they're mostly known for DJ tools and whatnot. It's really sort of taking all that stuff to another level. So it's very cool. Anyway, so what do we got for you today? I'm actually playing around with some of the filters. I like that. See, I would like to play things live if I could. And in fact, I want to do a live gig someday. And last night I spent about 2 hours taking all the sounds I had in my KP3 and sampling them out, which was nice. Saving it into waveforms, and then I'm going to bring them into here. Go away! Thank you. And that was fun. And now I'm sort of playing with some of the effects. Let's go find a place and make. I kind of like that crazy place. Let's go to this crazy place. Let's turn these guys off. And let's start reading. I mean, you can really, and then I think, damn, that sounded really annoying. But I tell you, I love that. Yeah. Sorry. That was all good and well. And so you can have multiple patterns and stuff. So that part, because of my lack of musical knowledge, that does sort of hamper me a little bit. See, the deal I had before, when I would just take sound from this, sound from this thing and cram it into this, I was just mutating the crap out of stuff. I had no idea what I was doing other than I was really just creating these loops and these banks. Each bank, we can either have a 4 loop, an 8 loop, or a 16 beat or whatever, with different, tempos, whatnot. And I would just mutate sound, and I would create all kinds of different tracks with that, and that was a lot of fun. And I created, like, over the course of the last 3 months, I've created I created a crap load of tracks. Stuff I really like. And that was just through blind experimentation and sort of coming up with arrangements. And that was very cool, I think. I just had a lot of fun. And that was the whole point. It was like, and then I started doing these session jams where I would actually record for an hour and a half, just mindlessly going through multiple samples and screwing around until I found something I like. And I would go from one beat to another beat to another beat. And this is the high road. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, I would just kind of create weird. It was just fun to do. That's the whole point of this for me. It's like, are you a musician? Hell no. But do I like to have fun with sounds? Yes, I do. I like to have fun with sounds. So, what I do like about Maschine so far is there's a really kind of a growing. Maschine is taking over the MPC market, which is, I think, mostly owned by Makai. They make these big hip-hop artists use them mainly. And they would basically sample a bunch of vinyl, and then you could basically tear apart a vinyl track and create a whole song out of just one record, which is kind of cool. And I used to do that a long time ago with an older sampler, but wasn't really into hip-hop per se. But that's where you find some cool sounds. different breaks and beats and loops and stuff. What I have here on this is probably going to sound pretty weird. Yeah, that's a little weird. I need to throw something else on top of that, you know. And that's the other nice thing about Maschine is that it comes with a lot of sounds. I like stacking basses on top of each other. I like stacking. This what's cool about this thing is that before, if I stacked on this, again with the prop, Dan, bring on the prop. If I stacked with this, it was destructive. Whatever I would lay down over and over and over, I'd basically be destroying any level of sort of control I had in taking those things out. And I think that for the most part, that was limiting, but it also allowed me to create some really weird things because the KP3 has a ton of effects in it. So you could build these loops and distort them and freak them out, and then you come up with a nice little snippet, and then you copy that snippet to another pad, and then you play from there. Here, it's really all of that. It's not as crazy mutation land. Like here, everything's it's still sort of structured, and I have to work harder to get lost and have fun a little bit. On the KP3, you can get lost and fun and crazy, but then you can also end up with a shitty sound, and then you're done. Here, whatever you can do, you can sort of drill into some craziness. Like right now, I've just been playing with, especially with this basic kit. I'm put a lo-fi filter and a maximizer, and I'm playing, and the sound kit sounds completely different than if it didn't have those effects. So, is it as good as the KP3 and the other stuff I have? Much better. It doesn't let me play as much, and I sort of want to play more. And I think that's mainly because I don't know all the cool stuff here. I'm learning that. What else I can really do for you here? Can you move that up? Sweet. Yeah, there you go. Move that over there. Look at that. This is beautiful here. Isn't that lovely? That's lovely. I gotta get rid of that. That's called you bought the house and you haven't fixed it up yet. So here you can see, some of this, software. And it's basically a tracker. It's just gonna go by. It reminds me a lot of the Amiga days, where the guys who did the tractor, they were all kind of tractor apps. So basically, you play across a track and you play a bunch of notes. It's surprising for me to see this kind of show up now and be this big thing. But so, anyways, what else on the show? Oh, there's tons of sound kits and things to buy. There's really lots of new things to buy. I've found a couple new things I really want to get, as far as different types of synths and expansion packs galore. I'm going to get into that, I hope, and play with some of that stuff. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to let this go, and we'll put this online, and thanks for watching.